Okay, one of the things that we at the Web 3.0 Lab have observed by looking at the events in Bahrain, predominantly on the 16th and 17th of January, something that we're calling probably the first troll bomb that was executed by a government regime. What we noticed on the 16th of January is that most people would have noticed if you were twittering in English on Bahrain, you would have probably found multiple individuals presenting themselves as Bahrain citizens, many of them presenting themselves as objective Bahrain citizens who didn't really have an opinion politically, actually answering you, confronting you, or interrogating you, and they deployed various strategies. Some of them were pounding the Shia Islamic radical terrorists of them. Some of them were saying, I'm open-minded, but I'm not quite sure. Some were even trying to be all family-friendly. What we noted, though, that was very interesting is on the night from the 16th, these people continued to post. Then late night 17th, these people, and there were thousands of them, we could tell, and they were crowding out the hashtag Bahrain during the 16th, vanished. Pretty much orchestrated at the same time that the crackdown happened. So obviously these people they're not all necessarily government agents, even though a number of them probably are. A number of them are probably professional social marketing firms that were hired by the government. Also, a lot of them are probably just government supporters, but they were being coordinated. They just evaporate. They vanish off the face of the earth. You saw very little tweeting from pro-government people during the crackdown. It just went dead. If you went to the Bahrain hashtag during the crackdown, there were very few people who were posting during that period. So we normally think of cyber attacks or cyber threats as coming by a small group of very, very secretive, very, very intensely nerdy, kind of anonymous type people launching an attack on infrastructure involving code. But what we saw at this case is the ability of a government to create or manipulate a large number of social network profiles to gain its particular ends. In the case of the Bahrain troll bomb, what we believe has happened is that they were targeting the essential elements of trust that are essential online for the people in Bahrain on their social networks to form connections to other people in the Arab world, between each other within Bahrain, and globally. And right now what we're seeing in the Arab revolt that's happening very much in cyberspace is the need, the support that the Arab world, the people within the country, and the global institution need to form to create a network. We believe very strongly that the Bahraini government orchestrated this troll bomb with an intention of undermining that. We also think this is a very serious issue. And in our blog, we've brought this to the attention of Twitter. We're going to be wondering if they respond to us. But these accounts of these particular people should not be treated as normal users. This should be treated as a security attack. When you see thousands and thousands and thousands of tweets in a particular hashtag supporting a particular government movement, and then when there was an attack, a violent attack, denying people their UN human rights, the people, and when that happens, these people who were 10 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour before actively tweeting suddenly vanish, okay? When people call them out, we call them trolls, they block them, they're using block techniques, they're using gaming strategies, they're trying to collectively game Twitter. This is a real security threat, and Twitter should treat these people as criminals at the same level as if they were launching malicious code, because in a social network, the troll attack is the malicious code of the 21st century. We think the thing is that oftentimes the thing that hack code can do is a bit over-exaggerated. People can put in security measures, you can firewall, you can air-gap key, you can take air-gapped backups. But when you have a social event happening, if you can infiltrate a social network that's forming with a few hundred active participants who are coordinated and understand that there's going to be a crime committed against that population, that can be extremely effective and extremely disturbing. And I did see a lot of people who were on Twitter were kind of taken aback by these profiles and were a bit confused. And they were sowing a lot of confusion. So as I said, on the Web 3.0 Lab, we've been tweeting about this. We've identified some of the individuals by name. People are telling us about more and more of them. Generally, people are always like, oh, they're just trolls. What do you do? We think this should be taken very seriously. We think that security agents in countries of the world should identify this kind of behavior as a form of terrorism and respond with criminal activities. At the very least, Twitter should deny services to the IP addresses in which these places are going. At the very highest, we think that people who coordinate or plan these activities should be brought to the International Criminal Court.